Okay, so I don't know when this video is going to come out. It might be weeks or even a month after this has happened, but as of filming this, last night Chadwick Boseman sadly passed away of colon cancer at 43 years old. He played Black Panther, he was loved by many, and I just wanted to, mention it in the start of this video. He played Black Panther in the MCU, obviously, and I'm a big fan of the MCU. I'm absolutely devastated. A lot of my mates are, and a lot of Marvel co-stars. This is definitely a sad time for movie fans, especially Marvel fans. And I just want to say, rest in peace. I don't know what's going to happen with the MCU now and what's going to happen with Black Panther 2, but that's not really something we should be talking about yet. We should just be paying our respects to this actor. I mean, I might make a video on something like that in like a few months' time. My video schedule is, quite filled up with things, and you don't even know some of the things I'm going to be doing on this channel, but I probably won't do a video on the cash change until next year maybe. I know I've moved away from news videos, but that's less of a news video, so yeah. I forgot that this scene existed. Oh my god. Hope no one walks in while I'm watching this. Jesus Christ. Yes. The opening of this movie is basically a science lesson on how babies are made, and literally just a sperm's journey. Great start. Not much I can really add on there, so moving on. This video had such a, emotional beginning. I just wanted to mention it on the channel. I really like Chadwick Boseman, and I never expected this to happen, The first time I got notification that he died, I thought this was some big joke, And then when I found out he actually died, like before I watched the YouTube video, I searched Chadwick Boseman on YouTube, and when it said died 28th of August 2020, my heart was just crushed. But enough about that now, rest in peace. We are in episode 5 of the Chucky reviews, and we're going to be reviewing one of the silliest horror movies ever, Seed of Chucky. A lot of people's least favourite Chucky movie and horror movie. I mean, I wouldn't even class it as a horror movie. And if you're thinking, how is a dog going around killing people not a horror movie, you'll find out in a bit when I show you. So the film starts off with a British family getting a doll for their little British girl, and she hates it because she's a spoiled little So yes, this little girl does not like her present at all. She has a little mini tantrum about it, says how ugly it is, in a very posh British accent, if I do say so myself. And this obviously angers the doll. I would be too if I just got called ugly so many times. And then the doll goes mad and kills her parents. And to be honest, so far, pretty good scene, good start to a movie. You're thinking, wow, very nice Chucky film, going back to them horror routes, yes. The British people accent may be a bit weird, because I don't even know if British people actually talk like that anywhere in my country. But, Kill's good in it, until this happens. It's a bit weird.
Killed my mummy and daddy. And now you're pissing your pants! You're pissing your pants!
Okay, I think that's enough of that, and no, that's not the weirdest thing that happens in this film, unfortunately. So then Glenn wakes up, and this is what he looks like. I know, ew. Yeah, and it turns out he's in a place with some evil ventriloquist guy, who named Glenn Shitface. I mean, bear in mind he's not even called Glenn yet in this movie because, you know, he doesn't even know his parents, so yeah. And you know, this thing with the guy using the doll's ventriloquist, not actually a bad idea for a Chucky movie, but it's just the execution wasn't great of it, you know. It weren't expanded at all. We weren't shown like his relationship with the doll at all, apart from he treats him like not nice, like BS. So yeah, some of that could have been cool, but wasn't. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned this in my last review. I don't know why, because it seemed quite a significant part of the film, especially first time watching. Well, basically at the end, when Tiffany died, she got resurrected because she gave birth for some reason. I don't know. To little Glenn thing, and then she died again. And then the cop that was looking at her got killed by the baby. Guess it was Glenda at that moment then. I mean, you probably, if you haven't seen the movie, you don't know what I'm talking about right now when I'm calling him Glenn and Glenda. You'll understand it a bit, though. And I like how they give him the sharp teeth, you know, because Glenn/Glenda does have sharp teeth in this movie, which is a nice little touch. So, yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. So then Glenn is watching the telly, and then he sees Chucky and Tiffany on the TV. Obviously, it's not the real ones, you know, hosting a TV show. Basically, they're doing a movie about the events, which isn't too far-fetched. I mean, if there was two killer dolls in real life, I'm sure someone would base a movie off of them. And Chucky puts his hand up and it says Made in Japan on his wrist. And Glenn also has Made in Japan on his wrist. And to be honest, I don't even think Chucky ever had Made in Japan on his wrist. But hey, you got a retcon, I guess. So then Glenn runs away to go find his real parents, and because the guy who owns him is an absolute not nice guy, you know what I mean? And he does find his real parents, you know, and that's out Hollywood, you know? That's great. Hollywood. Who doesn't love Hollywood, eh?
De due dambala awake.
Tiff? Chucky?
So, this amulet thing was basically the whole plot device for Bride of Chucky. Don't ask me how, he's got the amulet. I guess the guy who stole Glenn from that little graveyard picked up the amulet, put it in his pocket. I don't know how he was able to bring both Chucky and Tiffany back to life just by saying them words. Maybe them voodoo people have, like, their own personal, amulets that, like, resurrect them. I don't know, to be honest. Maybe their souls went into the amulet, and honestly, I don't know, to be honest. This is a very confusing film, it's just hard to try and make sense of it, you know what I mean? So, this scene, yeah, I like how Chucky's literally just standing over the cot with the knife, looking very menacing as usual. And I actually do love the Chucky design in this movie. It is probably one of my favourites. I prefer it more than the Bride of Chucky one because it's a lot more cleaner, and you know, I just like it, you know. Of course they would look cleaner because they're movie props, so makes sense. And when Glenn's asking why did they kill, you could definitely feel how innocent Glenn is, you know. He's like, why do you kill people? You know, it's just, yeah, you'd really like think, yeah, why do they kill people? And then Tiffany says, let's stop killing people. It's a bad example for our child. I mean, it's not a bad idea for a movie like this where a slasher wants to stop killing, but it just seems sort of sudden for Tiffany. Like, for Tiffany, she's been killing for years. She's attracted to it. She wouldn't be in a relationship with anyone who doesn't kill people. That's how much she loves it. She loves it more than people, and that's why she kills them. And then she just all of a sudden stops. It just feels kind of weird to me. And also another thing, how Chucky mentions that killing is a family tradition. I don't know if he was just saying that as some random excuse, but that could be a cool idea to explore in the Chucky TV series. I believe that that series will be a like a sort of origin story for Charles Lee Ray, and we get to see more of his background. And if that's the case, then I'd be down for that. Like, generations of Rays murdering people, that's great, and clearly he's the best one. So, few things I like about the scene, few things I don't. So, having Jennifer Tilly in this movie as Jennifer Tilly playing Tiffany in this this fictional film, in the film, is kind of clever when you think about it. Like, whoever thought of that? Great mind, using a real life actress, the real life actress who plays Tiffany, to play Tiffany. But one thing that has me confused is who plays Chucky in this movie. I mean, that would have been a good thing to answer. They could have said Brad Dourif or something. Even just like a mention would be nice. But yeah, this is one of the good things about the movie. So the kills in this movie, sort of hit or miss, really. Few good ones, few ones. This kill is probably the best kill in this film. I know it doesn't look very realistic, and it definitely isn't that realistic. I don't think people would literally keep acid on a shelf like that if it was that dangerous. But, it's a horror film. You can do stuff like that. Nice visual effects. That was good. So, this here, it's Britney Spears, not the real Britney Spears, but the character here is Britney Spears. Remember, this movie takes place in Hollywood, which is actually kind of interesting take to go. They usually just take place in, like, Chicago or something. They usually take place in, like, different places, so it's kind of interesting for one to be in Hollywood, and you get to see a lot of familiar faces, or maybe at least them being familiar characters. It doesn't not make sense that she'd appear in this, but literally, it's an explosion kill. They're really meh. They're not exciting or cool or anything. She literally just got hit by a car by Chucky, and he said, "Oops, I did it again." Felt pretty forced, that they just got her in there. They thought of a really cheesy, simple joke, and they did that. Not that good. Bride of Chucky was the Chucky movie with all of the horror references. This one didn't have as much, but it certainly got at least one. And Shining is such a popular horror movie that it was bound to happen. And it was Chucky axing the door, and you would expect him to say, "Here's Chucky," it'd be a nice little reference. But instead he said, "I can't think of a thing to say." I can't believe they thought that was a good idea. Although this film is pretty much a disaster and a disgrace to the horror genre, the character of Glenn, is actually pretty good, The design of Glenn is pretty good, I guess, I like how they added ginger to resemble Chucky in that, and the lighter skin to resemble Tiffany, and they made him, I wouldn't say transgender, but like, what's the word? When you have two personalities, basically. She's got two personalities, or he. One's Glenn and one's Glenda. Chucky and Tiffany were arguing before whether it's a boy or a girl, and they got their answer. It's both. Sometimes Glenn feels like a boy, sometimes Glenn feels like a girl. And when Glenn's a girl, she's a murderer like Chucky. So one half is more like Tiffany, doesn't want to kill people, and one half is like Chucky, which is Glenda, just wants to kill people, which is pretty cool, you know. Hope to see Glenn return in the Chucky TV series, but we'll see. So, my favourite scene in this film is...
Hurry, Chucky, do the chant! Chucky, do it now! Chucky, what are you standing there for? Do the chant! What are you waiting for? Do it, Chucky!
Everybody, shut up! I have had it! That's it! There is a limit to how much I can take.
What are you talking about?
Look around you, Tiff. This is nuts. And I have a very high tolerance for nuts. If this is what it takes to be human, then I would rather take my chances as a supernaturally possessed doll. It's less complicated.
You can't be serious.
As a heart attack. Think about it. What's so great about being human anyway? You get sick. You get old. You can't get it up anymore. I'm not looking forward to that.
I want to be Jennifer Tilly. I want to be a star.
And I don't want to be your chauffeur. As a doll, I'm fucking infamous. I'm one of the most notorious slashers in history, and I don't want to give that up. I am Chucky, the killer doll, and I dig it. I have everything I want. A beautiful wife. A multi-talented kid. This is who I am, Tiff. This is me.
Chucky, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know who the fuck you are anymore, but it's not enough for me. I want more.
That right there, I think, was the best move for the Chucky franchise to go eventually. Because, 7 movies so far, if they didn't do this scene where he decides he wants to be human now, then it'll be a bit boring because he'd have the same goals. Yeah, obviously, he turns, he passes his soul into someone's body and attempts to, and that, in the 2 films after this, yeah. But that's only, that's because he got a new power in those films to transfer his soul into multiple bodies. So that's cool. But if, his goal was to become human again in the next other 2 films after this, I imagine how boring it would be. There would literally be nothing else to do. This was the best move, because I think this movie isn't the worst. This is better than, films like Child's Play 3, because that movie didn't try anything new like this, but this tried a lot new, and actually, some of it worked, to be honest. Yeah, so that's one of my favourite Chucky lines, and on to the next bit. So, as you can see here, Chucky plays with himself in this movie, and he ejaculates, and the reason he had to do this is because a voodoo pregnancy thing to put his sperm in Jennifer Tilly so they can have babies, to put Glenn's soul in the babies, and Tiffany was going to be Jennifer Tilly, and that's why he did it. I mean, it makes sense why he does that. It will make sense that he does that, but I didn't really want to see it, to be honest. I mean, did we see Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, or even Jason Voorhees? Jacker? No, I didn't think so. Chucky's actual death scene in this movie was actually pretty great, if I do say so myself. It's one of the way more violent ones. It was way better than, Bride of Chucky, definitely. So, yeah, pretty nice thing. If the fight scene before didn't exist. So, basically, spoiler alert, Chucky kills Tiffany because she wanted to transfer her soul into Jennifer, but Chucky didn't want her to do stuff like that, yada, 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 and that. So, yeah, he killed her for the 2nd time, actually, technically, the 3rd time, and basically, Glenn got mad, and started having a kung fu fight with him, and there was a bit of CGI in that. I think basically all we did that, all this weird stuff for, was because they got more CGI for the movie and got a bigger budget, so they just wanted to throw some random stuff in there, which didn't even look good. They literally had a kung fu fight. The fact he's made in Japan, speaks Japanese, and knows kung fu is not funny to me. Glenn's character is good, but this thing about his character there is not good. It's not even funny. Why couldn't they just make Glenn axe him and that's it? That would have been fine, but I don't like this. So before Chucky killed Tiffany, she was saying loads of, kind words to Glenn and all of that. And, it's just, that's all cool and that is true. Don't make the same mistakes your mum and your dad did, bruv. And, yeah, that's all cool and all, but it turns out the chant worked that she was doing. She got into Jennifer Tilly's body. And before I go any further, they had twins, so Glenn and Glenda both get to being a baby, because one of them was a boy and one was a girl. And it's just a bit weird, because she died and was saying these nice words and that, and then Glenn killed Chucky with the axe. Yeah, Glenn, it weren't Glenda. And then when he started crying because both his parents were dead, Jennifer was comforting him. Was that Tiffany comforting him, or was that still Jennifer? Is the chant just a little bit delayed, or something like that? Or I don't know, or was it both of them? Or is Jennifer Tilly now also split personality like Glenn? That actually would be the best way to use it, but I don't know, probably won't, not like that. It's just really confusing. And after Jennifer started comforting Glenn, what did Glenn do? Was he just like, I'm a head out inside of a baby now? And then Glenda personality popped up and said, I'm going to also go in a baby. And then Jennifer was like, yo, I'm Tiffany. And then they were like, cool. It's just a bit weird. There's no need to even try to make sense of it. This film is confusing as hell. And also, so basically this is Glenn Human. Basically it was his birthday and Glenda's birthday. Obviously they're both 9 or something, I don't know. And they got another present and that from Tiffany, even though, yeah, I think it was Tiffany. The present was Chucky's arm. How did it get delivered there? Who delivered it? It's always Tiffany who delivers the stuff. He couldn't deliver with one arm. That doesn't make sense. There's no one else who could have done it. Another thing that it really just doesn't make sense. And then it grabs his neck and the movie ends. It's just a bit weird. I'd like to have seen a continuation of that, even if the movie was bad. And like I was saying before, I actually do like the characters of Glenn and Glenda. They're one of the best bits about this film. But it's just like the movie was a bit not good. And so, you may be wondering, don't they continue the stuff with Glenn and Glenda in Curse and Cult? No, they don't even mention it. In fact, in Cult there was going to be a reference of Glenn. I would have really liked to see what they would have said, but Universal told them to cut it out. So, to be honest, in Don Mancini or whatever, in their defence, it's Universal's fault really, but I hope they work out a deal someday where they can put Glenn in a future project, even if it is just like the TV show. Maybe Universal is giving them more freedom with the TV show and they can bring him back in that as a grown man. That would be really cool. I'd love to see that. So, yeah. Okay, so that was indeed my Seed of Chucky review. I would give this movie a good 5 out of 10. If it was before I'd review this and someone asked me what would I rate it, I'd probably say 3 or 4. But after reviewing it, I appreciate it a little bit more, just a little bit. I think that always happens when I review stuff. I didn't even feel the same way watching it while reviewing it, but while I was reviewing it, I started gradually realising things then, this was kind of clever, that was cool, that was smart, and all that, and I'm really sorry that this video is really lengthy. It's just that Seed of Chucky is a very interesting movie to review, so sorry if you got a little bit bored while watching this. I think this is longer than my Avengers review, actually. Some updates on what's happening with my channel right now. I'll try and be really quick, but I'm going on a break from doing stuff on this. Because I'm just a little bit burnt out from doing reviews and that. You will see me more on the War Machine Ogre channel. I uploaded on that for the first time in a month. About some guy called Chase. Go check that out. Link in the description. Yeah, so I probably won't be on this channel for maybe 2 or 3 months. Feels quite a bit. But even though I feel burnt out, I might make some videos while I'm on the break for this channel, and then upload them rapid when the break's done. Sorry, I just feel like quite burnt out, you know. Hope you understand. But if you want to see more content from me, just go on the War Machine Ogre channel, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.